saying to beat more white people and lock up more white people. What I'm saying actually is the opposite. Let's set the record straight. Stop espousing the lie. Tell the truth and accept the truth. The Pledge of Allegiance, which states, to the republic for which it stands, under the United States of America, one nation, under God, indivisible, with what? Liberty and justice for all. Just last night, another young man, 2 nights ago, but it was just revealed last night that another young man was shot in Atlanta. No justice, no peace. In an attempt to deny justice to black people and other people, great attempts have been made based off of a lie. This lie is that white people are superior, black, brown, yellow are inferior. With this as the main point, efforts to support this false premise have been extravagant, funded, endorsed, cover up, advanced, and ingrained in the American psyche so much that it is not even recognized by some. Takes me to a great line in a movie. The greatest trick that the devil ever pulled off was convincing the world that he didn't exist. And unfortunately, the lie is that deep. Some people don't even believe or don't even recognize that it exists. America, like Adam and Eve, is subject to the consequences of the lie. As a society dealing with the continued death and mistreatment of our brothers and sisters, we have to combat the lies. We have to stop buying into and tolerating the madness. Ignorance is bliss, but your bliss is the expense of someone else's torture. The bliss of white privilege is to the detriment of everyone else. How do we have a president that only became relevant by pushing a lie about the then president, claiming that he wasn't American? The fruit that Eve ate of may have looked, smelled, and tasted good, but the consequences of eating it were infinitesimally worse. The lie helps to prop up white society, but the damage it has done and continues to wreak on the entire country, on the entire world, black, brown, yellow, white, and otherwise, is infinitesimally worse. I heard it said by some modern day Pharisee that protesting against the government is wrong because God appoints our leadership, that we are and he was undoubtedly quoting Romans 13:1 through 7, where we are told to be subject to governing authorities. We'll discuss this in depth at another time, but verse 3 states that the rulers hold no terror against those who do what? Those who do right. We'll discuss this again in another time. But when the government commands us to do or is guilty of doing something wrong, we must. It's not we should, we can, or we have the right to. No, we must resist the government and obey God. When the Sanhedrin commanded Peter and John to stop speaking in the name of Jesus, they replied, this is Acts 4:19 through 20, whether it is right in the sight of God to heed to you rather than God, you be the judge. In other words, whether it's between you or what God tells us what to do, who do you think we're choosing? Contrary to what Adam and Eve did, they told him, you be the judge, for we cannot stop speaking about what we have seen and heard. For we cannot stop speaking about what we have seen and heard. Later, when the command was repeated, Peter answered, we must obey God rather than men. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego refused to bow before Nebuchadnezzar. We're told that in Bible. We're told that in Sunday school. One of the first stories we know. Even if it's just the names that are catchy, we know that story. In defiance of the king's edict, Daniel continued to pray. Further, Jesus confronted the Jews and the Roman authorities when they were wrong and told them, demand the truth be told. When we are given lies, call them such. Hold the liar's feet to the fire. It is terrible, but we expect politicians to lie. We just expect it. Well, though we all fall short of perfection, that blanket acceptance of lies leads us down a road to injustice. If a person lies in court, a judge lies in court to a judge, it's perjury, and they can be sent to jail. However, if a politician lies and influences hundreds, thousands, millions, nothing happens. Again, we are to obey God. And if we're truly to be our brother's keeper, to love our neighbor, the lies have to stop. Stop telling them, stop indulging them, stop writing them off as benign. Stop turning a blind eye. Tell the truth. Bring light to darkness. Justice is setting things right, okay? Being fair or reasonable. A system built on and that furthers lies can never be fair or reasonable until and unless those lies are exposed And not just expose. It's one thing to have knowledge, but you've got to act on it. You've got to repair their damage. You've got to repair the damage of the lies. You've got to repair the, at this point, almost 600 years of damage that the lie has created. If we, the U.S., want to be the morally superior country that we put ourselves out to be to the rest of the world, we have to stop telling and believing and endorsing and acting on the lie. We have fallen far, and we will continue to fall until the truth be told. The most exciting thing about sin is that it makes you feel good because you're exercising your freedom. Think about what happens when you get high or drunk. It feels good in those moments, right? But what happens afterwards? You have a headache. You have a hangover. However, the opposite is true. Nothing enslaves like sin. It perverts our thinking, controls our actions. It destroys our peace. No justice, no peace. Worst of all, it separates us from God. What did God command? What did God say to Adam in the garden? You shall surely die if you disobey me. Every time we lie, we promote that lie, we create further separation. Jesus, on the other hand, represents truth. He ends John 8:32 by saying, the truth will set you free. Comforting lies is never as beneficial as telling hard truths. Even if the truth is not what you want to hear, we cannot make good decisions or choices when we're working under the control of a lie. As Christ stated earlier in dialogue, he alone is the light of the world. This one and only one, he is the one and only one, means to apprehend the truth. We have no justice, therefore we have no peace. We cannot have peace until the lie is stopped. Christ died on the cross so that we could be saved, right? His grace made it so that if we believe in him, we will follow him. Adam and Eve could not follow the devil's guile and God. Neither can we. They followed the lie and died. They followed the lie and died. What are we doing? We're killing a nation. And I keep saying we because I'm talking about us as a whole, but this nation is dying because of the lie, because of the pursuit of the lie. And as long as there is that pursuit, there can be no peace. There will be no justice. There will be no peace. But if we pursue the truth, it shall set us free.